You ever have one of those days where you just wanted to mind your own business, drink your coffee, and enjoy a quiet morning? Then suddenly, somehow, you're the main character in your neighborhood's drama? Yeah, that was me a few months back. So, let me tell you about the day a simple conversation turned into flashing police lights and a viral post that almost wrecked my peace. I live in a quiet cul-de-sac called Maple Grove, one of those picture-perfect places where the lawns match, the mailboxes sparkle, and the HOA thinks it's the Supreme Court. Me and my wife, Renee, we worked years to afford that place. Nothing fancy, but it was home. Every Saturday, I'd be out there trimming the hedges, talking to old man Carl next door, drinking my coffee while the sprinklers hissed in the distance. Peaceful, predictable. And then came Tiffany Langford. Now, Tiffany, she's one of those neighbors who carries a clipboard like it's a weapon. Always on patrol, checking whose trash cans are out too early, whose grass is half an inch too long. The type who says community standards more often than she says good morning. I never had beef with her until her teenage son, Tyler, decided my yard was his shortcut to school. At first, I let it slide. Kids are kids. But when my garden lights started showing up cracked and my flower beds looked like they'd hosted a small football game, I decided to say something. The first time I stopped him, I was calm. "Hey, Tyler, could you use the sidewalk next time, buddy? Those lights keep breaking." He mumbled an apology, said sure, Mr. Collins, and jogged off. I thought that was the end of it. But a few days later, I checked my security camera footage, and there he was again. Same hoodie, same path, same laugh when the light popped under his sneaker. I stared at that screen and just sighed. It wasn't about the lights anymore. It was about respect. I showed Renee the video, and she gave me that look. You know, the please don't start something with that woman look. I told her, I'll be polite. I'm just going to talk to him again. Next morning, I see Tyler cutting through again. I walk outside, keeping my voice steady. "Tyler, we talked about this, right?" He shrugs. "Yeah, but it's faster." "I get that," I said, "but this isn't a park. You've broken 3 lights already." He rolled his eyes and muttered, "Fine," and turned to go. And that's when Tiffany bursts out her front door like she's storming the Capitol. Phone in hand, camera rolling. "Why are you yelling at my son?" she screams. I blinked, completely thrown off. I wasn't yelling. I was just asking him not to walk through my yard. "You don't talk to my child," she shouts, stepping closer. "If you have a problem, you come to me." I tried to stay calm. "Tiffany, I did come to you last time. You said, what was it? Boys will be boys." She stiffened, then pointed the phone closer to my face. "You're harassing us, and I'm calling the police." And she actually did. Right there. Within minutes, 2 police cars roll up, lights bouncing off the perfect white fences and SUVs like it's a crime scene. Neighbors came out, some pretending to check their mail, others filming like they were at a parade. I stood there, hands at my sides, feeling that familiar knot of disbelief tighten in my chest. One officer asked, "Sir, we got a report that you threatened her son." I laughed, but not out of humor, more like pure disbelief. "Officer," I told her I had video of her kid breaking my lights. That's all. The officer asked to see it. I showed him the footage. Tyler, clear as day, smashing through my property like he owned it. The officer looked at me, then at her. "Ma'am, looks like a misunderstanding." Tiffany's voice cracked. He was standing over my son. He scared him. The officer sighed. "No arrests tonight. Let's keep it civil." When they left, the street finally exhaled, but the air still felt thick. Renee opened the door when I came in, her eyes full of worry. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said, though even I didn't believe it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying it all in my head. How fast calm can turn to chaos. Next morning, my phone starts buzzing. Someone had posted a blurry video to the neighborhood Facebook page, captioned, "Aggressive man yells at teenager." My heart sank. The video started mid-conversation, right when Tiffany was yelling and I was trying to explain myself. Out of context, it looked bad. The comments rolled in. "He should have called the HOA. No adult should yell at a kid. Scary behavior." But then, a few defended me. "Watch the video again, he's calm." Still, I knew how these things go. Truth never trends as fast as drama. Renee told me to post the full video, but I hesitated. "That'll just blow it up more," I said. "It's already blown up," she shot back. "At least this way, people will see the truth." So that night, I uploaded the whole thing. Uncut, no captions, just wrote, "Here's what really happened." Within hours, it spread. Some apologized, others doubled down. But at least the story had both sides now. A few days later, I got an email from the HOA president, Greg. They wanted a special meeting to discuss recent community tensions. Basically, a neighborhood trial. When I walked into that clubhouse, it was packed. Phones out, people whispering. Tiffany sat front and center, all composed, like the queen of suburbia. She spoke first, voice trembling just enough to sound rehearsed. "I only acted out of fear for my child. No mother should have to feel threatened in her own neighborhood." Then Greg nodded to me. "You'd like to respond?" I stood up, took a breath. "I didn't come here to fight. I came here because I believe in fairness. I asked her son to stop damaging my property. Nothing more, nothing less. I have proof." I turned my phone toward the big screen. The room went silent as the footage played. No yelling, no aggression, just a man talking calmly to a teenager. When it ended, I said, "All I ever wanted was respect. Not special treatment, just respect." You could feel the tension shift. Some folks looked ashamed. Tiffany's jaw tightened. One man in the back spoke up, calling 911 over that? That could have gone real bad. Greg sighed. "We'll arrange mediation, update community guidelines, and move forward." Tiffany muttered, "So he faces no consequences?" Greg said, "There's nothing to punish. The evidence is clear." That was the first time I saw Tiffany lose her composure. She stood, red-faced, and left before the meeting ended. 3 days later, she came to my porch. Alone, hands shaking, eyes tired. "Can I talk to you for a minute?" she asked. I nodded, cautious. "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry," she said. "For everything. For calling the cops, for blowing it up online. I didn't think. I just reacted." I stared at her, trying to find words. "You didn't just react, Tiffany. You used fear to win an argument." She nodded, tears brimming. "You're right. And I regret it." Then she handed me a folded note. "From Tyler," she said. It read, "I'm sorry for breaking your lights. I didn't mean to cause trouble." I looked up and said, "He's a good kid. Just needs someone to tell him no sometimes." She smiled faintly. "He gets that stubbornness from me." Before she left, she told me she'd stepped down from the HOA board. Said it didn't feel right anymore. That, I respected. The next morning, I saw that the broken part of our fence had been fixed. New wood, fresh paint. No note. Just action. That night, sitting on the porch, I finally felt the quiet again. The real kind, not the uneasy kind that comes after chaos. The garden lights glowed softly, and for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel watched. I thought about everything that happened, how fast people jump to conclusions, how a camera can save you, but also how it can destroy you. And I realized, this whole mess wasn't really about a broken fence or a few garden lights. It was about perception, about how people choose what they want to see, and how quick fear can turn neighbors into enemies. Now, things are calm again in Maple Grove. Neighbors wave a little longer, maybe out of guilt, maybe just to say we see you. And me? I'm not bitter, just wiser. So yeah, that's how I learned the hard way that in neighborhoods like ours, peace isn't just about mowing your lawn or following the rules. It's about empathy. About taking a breath before you judge the guy next door. But let me ask you something. If you were in my shoes, would you have stayed calm? Or would you have lost it when the whole block turned on you? Tell me what you think in the comments. Whose side would you be on? And what does justice even look like in a place where everyone smiles, but no one really listens?